Good morning. I'm your host, Dr. Brenda Wade. You've seen him in Hollywood blockbusters, Men of Honor, How Stella Got Her Groove Back, Everybody's All-American, and on TV, you've seen him in Mantis, Cagney and Lacey, just to name a few. He played CIA agent Marcus Dixon, field partner to agent Sidney Bristow, played by Jennifer Garner, on Alias, and he currently plays in the TNT drama Southland as a police captain. And now, through March 18th, you can see him in person on stage in San Francisco's very own Lorraine Hansberry Theater production of Blue Orange. Take a look.
I really think that I meant to provoke you.
That's the actor Carl Lumbly, who's with us this morning. And Carl, what's going on here in this segment?
Well, my character is, he's been taken into a mental institution in East London, and he has served for 27 days. And the next day, his 28th day, he has to be either kept in or released. And so he wants to go. He doesn't actually wear glasses, I do.
Great.
Yes.
But it's a fascinating play, and for me as a psychologist, it's amazing to see this tension. And welcome this morning.
Good
to have you here, Carl.
My pleasure to be here.
And for those of you who don't know what Blue Orange is all about, you're going to tell us a little bit.
Yes, this situation where if you are arrested in London doing something odd in public.
Odd in public can be very broadly construed, Carl.
And it is at the discretion of the arresting officers. They can either arrest you or they can take you to a mental facility to be evaluated. And if it is determined after 28 days, they have 28 days to either make the determination that you need to be held there and treated or released.
Wow.
And so
see, here in the Bay Area, it's 72 hours.
72
we don't
hours.
have a lot of time.
Yes.
So you got 28 days.
28 days, that's right.
So for you, this is part of a very long and rich career. And in preparing for the interview with you, I went back and looked at some of your films and your television performances, and Nightjohn popped up. And I hadn't seen that in years, and I have to say it's one of my favorite performances.
Oh, thank you very much.
It's so warm and moving and tremendously gripping. I mean, I had to actually stop. I was on Netflix. I had to stop the playback and just take some deep breaths because the tension was building. Yeah. Now, for you, I know everybody must ask you this question, but for you, what role has meant the most to you?
I think I did a role in a film called Men of Honor.
Yes.
A very, very small role at the very beginning of the film, playing Cuba Gooding's father.
Yes.
But because of the man that was about, Carl Brashear, I would say,
Carl.
Yes, another Carl. I think that's the work I'm kind of the most proud of, because he served as the motivation for Carl Brashear's character to go forward and become a tremendous Navy diver, and he sort of set a tone, and he was like men that I knew who perhaps they themselves weren't going to be able to achieve and attain, but by just staying the course and encouraging the generation behind them, they made a big difference. And that's an emblem for what I would like to think that I have done and will continue to do.
Well, I know you've done it, and if you don't mind me saying, in your own family, I know your son is following in your footsteps.
Yes,
How does that feel?
Well, it's of course I feel very proud. It's also daunting because it's not the easiest of industries, but he's a tremendous young man. He's quite a fine actor, and he's got an incredible mind. So I think he'll move forward.
I think he'll move forward. He has quite a legacy with both his mom and his dad.
Yeah.
Amazing. So for you with Blue Orange, what drew you to this role? You're playing Christopher.
I'm playing Christopher.
Orange, and he's a British man.
He's a young Brit. His backstory is confounding to the two psychiatrists who are working with him, because he claims to be an illegitimate son of Idi Amin.
Of Idi Amin?
Yes.
Oh my God.
And he also has perhaps borderline psychological problems, personality disorder. But he's also an immigrant living in a culture that is not his own culture and trying to make his way.
Right.
And my parents were Jamaican, and they were immigrants, and I know I've lived that existence. There's a tremendous hope for what you believe can happen, but there's also a fear because you're not absolutely certain what to do, so you do a lot of listening and trying to interpret. And there are pressures, so my character falls victim to a lot of these pressures.
Yes.
And it's difficult to determine just exactly where along the line of mental disability he falls. And the reason I wanted to do it is because on any given day I feel a little crazy myself. You know, I mean, with the political environment we have,
Yes.
there are things you see that make you very, very angry.
Right.
And perhaps if I had a different background or I had another set of opportunities or a different set of circumstances, I might.
Well, I don't think you're
make
alone,
mistakes.
Carl. I think we all feel a little bit crazy
Yes.
on certain days.
Right.
And I know that for people who are immigrants, people of color, if you don't feel some anger, you're crazier.
Yeah, it's true.
The anger
It's
is a
true.
legitimate and a healthy
Right.
response to some of what's going on. And Christopher is very caught in that. How does it feel to be on stage at Lorraine Hansberry?
Well, I quite love it. First, it's a beautiful, beautiful theater.
Isn't it gorgeous?
And then also, you know, Lorraine Hansberry is on a bit of a comeback.
Yes.
They went through some difficulties, and now they're stepping out in some new directions with a wonderful new artistic director,
Yes.
Stephen Anthony
With
Jones.
Stephen Anthony Jones.
And some very ambitious ideas about a placement for an African American theater with a multicultural mission, which
Yes.
seems to make complete sense in a place like the Bay Area.
Doesn't it?
There are too many
I
cultures.
think it does
This
too.
is-
And the vision is huge, and we have to bring all the cultures, all of the people together, and I think it makes the theater richer, don't you?
Well, it's gumbo. You know, if
love
gumbo
yes.
was only shrimp,
Yes.
it'd be shrimp.
Well,
Shrimp soup.
gumbo being my
But-
favorite dish. Now, everyone has got to see you in this performance. It's rare that we get you live in San Francisco. So I want you all to know that Carl Lumbly is starring in the Lorraine Hansberry production of Blue Orange. It's right there on your screen through March 18th. For tickets and information, please visit the website at www.lhtsf.org or call 415-474-8800. Carl Lumbly, thank you so much
Thank you,
for being
Brenda.
with us this morning.
My pleasure.
Now run, don't walk, get those tickets, and stay with us.